So, hi everyone, my name's Lee, this is for the players. I'm arriving at my very first DBZ Panini sealed event in Australia. I'm in Melbourne. If you guys didn't know, you guys are all in America, most of you. So it's already been released there for like months. This is our first release and first actual sealed event here. We're getting 1 starter, 3 boosters. I'm going to be doing a video deck tech of my sealed event. You guys can see what deck I build. You're going to see how I go. I'm going to give you a... going to see you after when I'm at home and do a proper presentation for all this. But honestly, I'm pretty excited for this. It's been a long time. It's been over 10 years since I've actually played this game against actual people. It's been in people have actually been interested in this, by the way. And I used to live in Perth, and I used to have a really good gaming group there I used to play with all the time. Here though, still just, you know, waiting for people to rock up. Events at 1, it's like 12:30 or something now. And I'm totally super psyched for this. I really can't wait at all. So as I've already said to you guys, I'm not actually the best player in the world, and I'm more of a deck builder, and then I like tweaking things once I see how they work, how they don't work. I like building things a bit rogue, so I don't even know what you guys think of my deck techs yet, or whether they're actually any good. But I know that that I love playing this game. So yeah, without further ado, this is a sealed event that I'm going to be doing. A couple of quick rules if you guys are going to be going to a sealed event. The first thing you want to do is put on deodorant. Nothing's worse than sitting across someone who does have a very unfortunate smell, you know. So always put on deodorant, wear some clean clothes, have a shower, that kind of stuff. I think one of my second rules is bring enough H2O and bring some snacks. Rather than just going straight on the Mountain Dew and all the sugar, like your brain gets all overworked, and then you go up and you go down, you go up and you go down. Bring some health food, bring some fruit, bring some sugar, you know, some sugary treats if you want to, but I find they just don't really work too well with the brain when you're trying to think about this, especially in a sealed event where you're trying to, you know, think on the fly and build a deck on the fly, where you haven't had time to practice and train with your deck or anything, so your movements aren't automatic anymore. Water is also like probably my top important thing. You need to keep hydrated. Big room full of sweaty people. Yeah, deodorant, water, fruit. That's probably my top 3 things to do. And don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. You know, we're all still learning the rules here, a lot of us. I'm still relearning a lot of the new Panini Z rules, so I'm still, you know, kind of getting there. And I think a lot of other people are as well. So, you know, number 1 rule: don't be a dick. Just let your opponent, you know, give your opponent the benefit of the doubt. You know, work with them. Say, oh look, I don't think you're supposed to do that. You know, call a judge over if you need to. Just work with people. You know. And that'd be my top 4 rules for any sealed event. Without further ado, let's get on with it, shall we? Just like Gimli. That was deliberate. That was deliberate. Yeah.
Well, look.
Alright, so you can start opening and building. Pink, you've got to put 10 cards.
I'll find it is what you'll get.
How do you open it? Oh, this way.
You got to take the top one off.
The top one's a promo.
Yeah.
Why are you a Yoshi?
Are you a Yoshi?
Yeah. Who'd you get? Goku. Yeah. Oh, you got the Piccolo. I trade you afterwards? What'd you get? Goku. And I got the Vegeta level 1 for the... Yeah. Oh, nice.
Might need one of. We have one of those plastic bags for the rubbish.
Not the rat. Oh. It's the food rat.
It's like 1 every 3 boxes.
Rat.
Yeah.
You get
Either get a stand out or a
I'm okay with this. Can't use it.
I got an Namekian mastery because.
Did you?
Because Piccolo.
I got it in here.
Oh well, I
Piccolo.
I ended up getting Goku, like a root.
Oh, I got time to worry. So we can.
I just got the
You got
level
Goku.
1.
You got Goku as well.
They have flat stuff.
Yeah, they're fun stuff. It's the same as last time.
Is there anything like a rare in each booster or not?
A rare in each booster. So the top three are uncommon. No, 4 are uncommons, and then you get your rare, and then the rest are commons. Hello and welcome everyone. This is my DBZ tournament report. This is the first tournament we had in Melbourne. It was run by TAC Games. This is, if you guys know, this has just come to Australia. Super excited. I'm going to give you, while you guys are watching, what you're actually watching now is a rundown of how I built my deck, and so you can see the process I went through, and so you can see exactly what cards went into it. You can just turn the volume off if you just want to watch that. But at the same time, I'm going to go through the games, why I included certain cards, what was the top performer for me, and what did not perform at all. So game 1, never got off of level 1, stayed on Goku as level 1. Actually, no, before I even start that, basically, I pulled Goku with the Orange Mastery. So my thoughts basically started along with the lines of let's see what drills we've got, and let's see if we can actually run like a Goku Orange drill deck. So I started going through the list, started pulling some stuff out. I was thinking about Quickness Drill, but I really didn't see it perform in Constructed, so I don't see why it would perform in Limited, because I didn't know the power levels of Limited yet. It's really hard to sort of gauge the format. Black Smoothness Drill is obviously an auto include. I thought it was very powerful. Any orange drills which added damage or blocked were also basically very important, which is why Blue Biting Drill later on gets also an auto include. There's a couple of other drills I think really pulled their weight, but those are the ones that I pulled their weight and that I really wanted in. So once I found them, I just decided, yeah, they're definitely running a Goku Orange drill deck. Luckily, I didn't pull Goku's Kamehameha, but it would have been amazing if we did. Onto the games now. Game 1. Now I never got off level 1 in the first game. Stayed on level 1, but it means I kept pulling some drills into play. He kept letting me hit me with them, with Goku's power. Black Smoothness Drill is the first one I got out, and that let me keep a whole bunch of card advantage to get the Orange Hiding Drill out. Orange Hiding Drill then did a lot of work on the defense. He had a massive 2 rounds where he entered combat, and he just attacked, and I ended up taking a lot less damage than I normally would have. And he was playing a Piccolo Namekian, and so he got onto level 3 very easily without even sort of trying. I finally got Blue Biting Drill into play, which let me run his stages down and finished, got him down to 0 stages, and then just pounded him with a couple of physical attacks, which did way too many life cards of damage. But Piccolo, I see it now, and I understand why Piccolo is so scary in Constructed, because in Limited he could have just been a bomb if he would have been. And after we had the game, he said, "No, I'm just going to go back and throw all my rejuvenation stuff in," because he could see how powerful the anger gaining was, getting 2 or 3 anger at once. But yeah, just did too many life cards of damage when he was on 0 stages with Blue Biting Drill. But I have to give the top performer to Black Smoothness Drill for that, for giving me the card advantage to do him in the first place. Game 2 was versus Goku. It was a black version of Goku. He had lots of energy blocks, kept playing defensively, making me discard cards, and I had lots initially that I couldn't use. It basically came down to an attrition war of not entry. Like, we had a good combat back and forth every now and again. We came down to an attrition war of not being able to enter combat, and so we were just trying to draw, pass, rejuvenate, draw, pass, rejuvenate. But I had a few more life cards in my deck, so he came down to his last maybe 6 cards or something like that, and had to enter combat. There was no choice, otherwise he could have just died by drawing. And I found that in that last combat I had a slight upper edge, and we traded 1 for 1. Finally, I came to my turn. I just didn't enter combat. I rejuvenated again, and he went to draw and drew his, couldn't draw his 3 cards to start his turn. So ended up winning that one. I've realized at this point I started, I was starting to think I needed energy defenses, so I swapped out Black Erasing Drill and Sand Analysis Drill, and also Red Blaze. I took those 3 out at this point, and added in some. I think I added in some energy attacks at this stage. I didn't necessarily go the energy defenses, but I was starting to see there was a pattern. There was a lot of energy attacks in this game so far. Game 3, I faced Blue Freezer. Initially, I was on a really good roll. I got out a whole bunch of drills. I got out Blue Biting Drill and Black Smoothness Drill with Chiaotzu and Yamcha as allies. And I started to pick up and started to go on the attack. And then he's just sat back and played defensive. He managed to remove Chiaotzu and Yamcha pretty easily. And he removed all my drills. And from that point, I just could not recover. His mastery blocked everything I had to throw at him. His level, and basically if he got to Freezer level 2, and he finished me off by having me draw with 15, cards on the live deck. Like, he attacked me for like a big, huge attack, and then just having me draw out my deck. It was pretty brutal facing Freezer Blue. I just couldn't recover at all. Once he'd removed my allies and once he'd removed my drills, and he had so many tools to do that with as well. So he could just attrition war me out and basically just slow me down, and then eventually finish me off at his leisure. Because Freezer just has so many blocks and so many ways of stopping everything going on. So that's 2-1 so far. So that was my first loss. Game 4, facing Black Krillin, and it was a complete blowout. We went about 2 combats with nothing really happening. Lots of 1-for-1s, and then he had this one combat, entered and had 8 energy attacks in one combat. He was just using all energy attacks with Krillin's discard to set up attacks, and then draw from his discard pile. Just made it a hugely powerful combat. We already had a couple of non-combats in play from passing a few turns before, so we could just keep his power stages up. And I had Orange Hiding Drill on play as well, and I just still could not, even with the -2 life card drill, he was still doing +7 life. He was still doing 7 life cards of damage, so that would have been a 9 life card damage attack, most of them, because I had no energy blocks, I had no blocks in hand, I had nothing. And so here, this one attack, just 8 attacks, so 8 times 7 is, oh god, 56. So yeah, basically with those attacks, he just drew out my deck and just completely smashed me. He did probably about 40 life cards of damage in one combat. After that, I was just like, no, I need a whole bunch more energy blocks. So I took a whole bunch of stuff out that I really didn't need and threw in a whole bunch of energy blocks at that stage, which is actually really useful. So at this point, I'm 2-2. I had my last game to recuperate and gain some of my former glory. After swapping out and getting in a few more blocks and better blocks, blocking helped me get out of combat so well, combined with Blinding Energy move. I just ended combat and blocked combat for a long time. He couldn't remove my drills, and I just slowly added to the amount of drills in play. And after a shaky few rounds, he entered one combat, and I managed, which I think was probably a misplay on his part. But he entered. I think he could have the upper. He obviously thought he had the upper hand. And I just managed to override him with all my drills, just do a whole bunch more damage than him. And then I had 5 energy attacks in one combat. And just I did exactly the same to him as the previous battle did to me. I was doing 7-8 life cards of damage in certain attacks, and then the extra 2 power stages he couldn't recuperate. But this was facing a Saiyan Vegeta, I should say. Yeah, I was facing a Saiyan Vegeta, and just he could not keep up. He could not do anything about it, and just took him out at the end of the day. Black Smoothness Drill just made that victory. I kept a whole bunch of unused blocks in my hand, because I didn't really enter combat until the very, very end. I was just busy setting myself up. But Black Smoothness Drill is the first drill I got out, and I learned very quickly it's the first drill I should get out to keep that card advantage going. And I just managed to keep a whole bunch of blocks in my hand. And those blocks were actually what saved me and helped me get out of combat, and as well drawing Blinding Energy move. Basically some top performance for the day. Blinding Energy attack, Blinding Energy move, I can't remember exactly what it's called. But it's basically the ability to exit combat and cause 4 life cards of damage. With all my other drills in play, adding on the extra power stages of damage, extra life cards of damage, helped immensely. Any energy deck should be running them. Including constructed. I truly believe that. Exiting combat is huge, I've realized. Being able to, even if you don't, like if you attack, don't use it. Keep it in your hand. Make it a card that you keep in hand, and then when they try to enter combat on you, just, end it immediately. Don't let them have the upper hand. It is a fantastic energy attack, and should be, and even if it doesn't hit, it'll still end combat. They saved me the first match, the Piccolo match, and they saved me my number 5 match as well. So I wouldn't have won without those two Blinding Energy attacks in my deck. It was high priority pick for both constructed and in limited from now on. If I ever do another limited event, it's definitely going to be in there. Black Smoothness Drill is my second top performer. It is an amazing drill in Old Z. It is now. I learned very quickly to prioritize it coming out first with Goku, and the matches I won off of Black Smoothness Drill, being able to keep an extra card in your hand. Card advantage is just the key to any card game. Being able to know that you have more cards and know having more spells and more abilities to play anything than your opponent. Black Interceptor Barrage is another top performer. It is just a horrible beast of an attack. It's 4 life cards and 4 power stages of damage for only 2 power stages. You're obviously going to be running it with, like if you're running it in limited, which I was with the Orange Mastery, it's an extra life card, so it was actually 5 life cards. But you're going to be running in a black deck when it constructed, so it's 5 life cards, 5 power stages, straight up for only 2 power stages. As a cost, sign me up. This is a great card. Underperformers were Red Right Cross. It does the same sort of damage as Black Interceptor Barrage, but it costs 4 power stages. For a non-Angie gaining deck, for non-power stages gaining deck, even red decks, even normal red decks would find this very hard to play. It was a complete underperformer. I overrated it, and every time it just felt like dead weight in my hand. So that'd be one that I would avoid in any limited environment. Only constructed if it was entirely possible, you could have all those power stages on the board. Namek Dragon Ball 1 also came out. It didn't affect the table when it came out, so I saw very quickly that no matter, even if it's a Dragon Ball, it doesn't have to be an auto include in your deck for constructed or even limited or anything like that. So it just came out, flat out came out. Energy blocks I didn't prioritize at first, and it cost me the 2 games that I lost. Because I ended up going 3-2, so 1-3, lost 2. Came 6th overall, which is I'm very proud of to top 8 to get 6th. You know, I'd love top 4, but
No.
I've got to get better first. But yeah, I'm very happy with the way I went. But because I didn't prioritize energy blocks, they
Because that's
just
where a bunch
did
of
not.
snake cards in here.
They cost me the 2 games.
Yeah.
If I would have been able to block a whole bunch of energy attacks, I could have survived and
for me, but-
gone next. So lesson learned: in limited, at least always prioritize blocks. In constructed, you have a lot more freedom. You've got a lot more choice over endurance and stuff like that. But in limited, always prioritize blocks. You know, if you follow Magic, the Gathering, and all, you know, bombs removal, evasion. Bombs, removal, and evasion, they're all blocks in DBZ, so you should be prioritizing those, and I didn't realize it sooner, and it cost me a couple of games. But before I actually started this game, like you'll see in this deck list here, there's 2 drills I throw in. They actually came out before I even played my first game. I realized how bad they were. Sand Analysis drill came out, didn't hit the board and impacted immediately, and the Namekian Heritage drill also came out. Before I even started the game. I had almost a bit of a playtest, but I had another look back through the deck because I still had a couple of minutes. And I had no way of gaining anger, so Namekian Heritage Drill got dropped because it wouldn't have added any extra life cards at all, really. And Sand Analysis Drill, because I didn't have any anger, like having 1 less anger to advance just felt like a really stupid way of doing things. And they both came out in favour of more attacks, and I'm assuming those attacks won me a couple of games. Being able to draw into those was quite a lot of help. So that was my tournament report for our Melbourne DBZ Panini first limited tournament that we had. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys watched it. At the end here, at the very end of the video, what you're actually going to be watching is the final deck list that I ended up playing most of my games with. You can see it's quite different from what I may have been talking about, or it's quite different from the beginning. And it just shows what I've learned and from a limited environment, what to look for next time, and how to play next time. And it's also taught me a little bit more about constructed. So my deck techs are going to be looking a little differently from now on. I've got a few different staple ideas in mind and stuff like that. So let me guys know in the comments what you think, how you think I did, what you would improve, what you would put in, what you would take out, how you guys would build this deck. Full deck list is down below, and we will talk to you guys soon. This is for the players, signing off.